Hello, today we will talk about the mission of building wealth. Before we start, hit the like button. Done? Let's go. Building wealth is simple. It doesn't require luck, genius, or special connections. You don't have to attend overpriced weekend financial seminars or learn the latest tricks and gimmicks sold by slick marketers. As John Bogle wisely stated, the secret is there are no secrets. The truth behind how to build wealth is public domain knowledge, simple to understand, and nobody is going to get rich selling it to you. In fact, it's so simple it can be explained in just 2 sentences. Number 1. Make more than you spend and invest the difference wisely. Number 2. Develop simple daily habits that result in wealth accumulation. The simplest things in life are the hardest to do. It's not really the case. Building wealth is about patience and persistence. Exactly like all the great things in life, patience and persistence. This probably isn't your first video on this subject. Maybe in the past someone told you it's difficult to build wealth because they tried to sell you a book or a course. But all the information you need is here. And before we dive in, let's see the difference between being wealthy and being rich. It seems to me that there is a big difference between being rich and being wealthy. When I think about someone who is rich, I think about someone with a lot of money. And I typically think about someone who is quite showy with their money. They drive fancy cars and live in a fancy house. They wear fancy clothes and eat at fancy restaurants. Rich people come into their money in a number of ways. They may inherit it, they may win the lottery, they may earn it in a few short years as a professional ball player or entertainer, or they may simply earn it over many years as a professional or a business owner. But doesn't this also describe a wealthy person? Is there really a difference? I believe there is a major difference between rich and wealthy. The difference is in duration. How long does the money last? Will it be gone once the person's earning power is gone? Will it be passed on to future generations? The simple difference between a rich person and a wealthy person is that a wealthy person has a sustainable wealth. In other words, a wealthy person will always be wealthy, whereas someone who is merely rich will only be so for a short period of time until the money is gone. Are you still here? Good then. Let's talk about the first step. Number 1. Make more than you spend and invest the difference wisely. The first sentence summarizes how to manage your personal finances so that you grow assets. It explains the importance of creating positive cash flow that you invest to produce additional positive cash flow. Notice how it's composed of 3 separate yet connected ideas to form a single concept. Number 1. Spend less. Number 2. Earn more. And 3. Invest wisely. There are endless variations on how to achieve this objective, but they all follow 2 simple themes. You can reduce spending immediately by giving up on things like Netflix, your TV cable, or eating out every day. You can increase your income through various strategies, including changing jobs, getting a raise, or starting a business. In essence, you must create a big difference between your earns and your spendings. Then, you must invest that difference. It's one of the world's oldest rules. Make your money work for you. The humanity knew this rule 2,300 years ago in Babylon. It still works. But you need to learn about your investments. Learn about all forms of investments. Learn about stocks, crypto, mutual funds, bonds, etc. And don't invest in things that you know nothing about, even if everybody does it. Number 2. Wealth is determined by your habits. The reason so few people build wealth is because they don't adopt habits that lead to wealth. The only thing remaining is to take action with enough consistency to achieve the goal, and that's where the problems occur. Here is the formula. Small, smart choices times consistency times time equals wealth. Procrastination is the single biggest wealth killer. You plan on getting around to it someday. You know what you should do, but there is always some other priority, and when it's not, you create one. All the books about financial education and wealth say the same thing. The distinguishing characteristic of people who achieve wealth is they manage their money well. They have good money habits. Tell us in a comment who is your favorite millionaire and what you have learned from him. Let's see some great money habits. 1. Constantly educate yourself about money. Our mindset is always the first thing that needs to change before we can truly approach any larger transformations in our lives. Everyone has the ability to build a financial ark to survive and flourish in the future, said Robert Kiyosaki, business magnate and author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But you must invest time in your financial education to build an ark with a solid foundation. The first step to building wealth from nothing is thus to invest time in your financial education. Become familiar with essential terms like income, expenses, net worth, return on investment, passive income, and financial independence, among others. Keep in mind that financial education, like every kind of education, must be a continuous activity. Never stop learning. 2. Create a budget. Creating a budget and sticking to it is crucial if you want to know how to build wealth from nothing. Using that regular income source we just spoke of, now you need to create a budget to take control of how you are spending your money, usually set on a monthly basis. A budget is a financial plan for a defined period that contains estimated income and expenditures for that period. Every household and/or individual needs to create at least a monthly budget to identify your expected income and estimated expenditure. Living without a proper budget is like sailing without a compass, and you can guarantee that you'll get lost in the seas of financial missteps. A popular budgeting technique is the 50-30-20 rule. In this technique, you can formulate a budget where 50% of income goes to essential expenses, rent, mortgage, food, and healthcare, 30% to non-essentials like shopping, vacation, entertainment, and 20% to savings and investments. 3. Build an emergency fund. Now that you have learned how to save a significant part of your income, the next course of action to build wealth from nothing is to create an emergency fund. It's money you set aside for unexpected expenses like car repairs and unforeseen circumstances like job loss or pandemic-induced lockdowns. When unexpected expenses and unforeseen circumstances arise, there are ways to make matters worse: incur debt and/or sell your investments. Therefore, to avoid those two scenarios, we recommend you learn how to start an emergency fund right away. An emergency fund should hold between 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. Also, ensure those funds are in a savings account where you can easily access them when the need arises. Like insurance, an emergency fund won't make you wealthy, but it will prevent you from selling your investments or incurring debt during emergencies. 4. Improve your skill set. If you are an employee, improve your skill set by taking professional courses and immersing yourself in continuous career development. If you own a small business, improve your understanding of the market, commit more resources to innovation, and provide more value to your customers. By doing this, you can increase your market share and earn more revenue. 5. Explore passive income ideas. In addition to increasing the income from your job or business, you should be exploring various opportunities to earn passive income. Passive income describes income you generate that does not require your continuous presence or labor, unlike your job or business. The idea is very simple. This is everything you need to know if you want to build wealth. Start now and live the life you dream about. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you want to see more. If that's the case, hit the subscribe button. We love our subscribers and work hard so we can help them more.